This is an amendment and a sequel to my indirect passive video. You can watch my previous video, suggested above, to find out more about the indirect passive. In this video, I will explain a very specific subtype of indirect passive called the possessive passive. As its name suggests, the possessive passive always involves a possession relation. Let's see what this means in detail. In a possessive passive sentence, the subject in the sentence is the possessor of the direct object. It's probably easier to explain this with a few examples. Number 1. 私は春に顔を見られた. Haru saw my face. Or, literally, I was seeing the face by Haru. In this sentence, there are two participants, namely Watashi, I, and Haru. The subject, Watashi, is the recipient of the seeing action, and the subject is marked by wa. The doer of the seeing action, on the other hand, is Haru, and he is marked by the particle ni. Notice that there is an extra noun phrase, namely kao or face. Now, this is where the name possessive passive becomes relevant. This kao or face is possessed by or belongs to the subject, watashi. So in a possessive passive sentence, there is a possession relation between the subject and the noun marked by o, in this case, between watashi and kao. Then how do we interpret this sentence? As explained in my previous video, indirect passive sentences are interpreted adversatively, meaning the subject is negatively affected by an event or an action. So I would interpret this sentence as, I was annoyed by the fact that Haru saw my face. Number 2. The possession relation need not involve a body part, such as your face, leg, or hair. Daiki はカリンに取っておいたプリンを食べられた. Daiki's pudding that he had been saving was eaten by Karin. Or, literally, Daiki was eating the pudding he was saving by Karin. In this example, the pudding belonged to the subject, Daiki. Now, this sentence implies that Daiki is annoyed by Karin's action. So I would translate this sentence as Daiki was annoyed that Karin ate his pudding that he had been saving. Now, what if there is no possession relation? For example, Noguchi は夏目に映画を見られた. Literally, Noguchi was seeing the movie by Natsume. In this sentence, Natsume is the one who watched the movie and is therefore marked by the particle ni, and 映画 or the movie is obviously not a possession of either of these people. That is, neither Noguchi nor Natsume owns the movie. However, this sentence is also interpreted adversatively, meaning the subject, Noguchi, was annoyed by the fact that Natsume watched the movie. So, based on these three examples, it seems that the possessive passive is not special at all, because it is interpreted in the same way as a non-possessive indirect passive sentence, like the third example. However, the reason why the possessive passive is considered a special case of the indirect passive family is because some linguists have been arguing that the possessive passive should not be interpreted adversatively. If the possession relation between the subject and the marked object is a body part relation, meaning the subject of a possessive passive sentence is not negatively affected. So if these linguists, such as Shibatani, were correct, then the first example, 私は春に顔を見られた, would be interpreted simply as Haru saw my face, and I would be wrong in saying that the subject, 私, was annoyed. However, many Japanese speakers that I've consulted feel that there is no distinction between possessive and non-possessive passives, and I agree with these speakers. So in other words, the possessive passive is just a subtype of the indirect passive, and it can and should be interpreted in the same way. I will soon make a video about a type of passive that does not use the auxiliary verbs reru and rareru, so stay tuned. See you soon.